Okay, so back when I first started working in a swim school in 2015, the one that I actually currently own now, relied solely on word of mouth, yellow pages, which is like the index and where you can look up things in like a paper phone book, and a website that had like a link for a phone number that you could call. That was it. Swim school was like 250 enrolments at the time and about $250,000 a year in revenue for the Learn to Swim. And it didn't do too bad. It was okay. I took over managing the swim school, I think 7 or 8 months after I first started working there in a full-time capacity, which was the year after I finished my last year of high school. And we actually grew the swim school from $250,000 a year in revenue all the way up to $600,000 a year in revenue over the space of 5 years. So it became much more profitable, did a much better job. It was going great guns. And then I actually bought that swim school, and I had more control over everything that could be done in it, and we did a better job, and it went from $600,000 a year, and it was either 1.1 or $1.3 million in revenue. Again, unreal. That's practically a double in revenue, and I'm pretty sure it doubled in 1 to 2 years. I can't remember exactly financials there, but long story short, really, really big growth. Great. The problem was that it stagnated there, and there's some issues. We sort of just relied on people knowing. Australia's pretty well known for everyone needs to learn how to swim, and culturally that's a really big thing. And so we relied a lot on that, like all the other swim schools do around in the area and pretty much anywhere in Australia. Problem was that costs went up ridiculously. So our gas prices went up 4.2 times. So instead of it being $20,000 to $30,000 a year for gas, it went up to $120,000, $130,000, $140,000 a year in gas. Terrifying. So we needed to grow to even just be able to pay for all of the increased expenses, because it pretty much just ripped out the entire bottom line and the profit. I stumbled into paid ads by accident. There's other ways that you can get customers as well, but I know paid ads, so I'm just going to talk about it from an inputs and outputs perspective. Now, paid ads, you put dollars in, people see it, eyeballs see your ads, they click on it if they're interested in it, they go to a web page, and then they fill out a form or whatever it might be, and then you get their contact information in exchange, and they might end up signing up for swimming lessons. Long story short. The problem with relying on word of mouth, which I made, was that you can't actually manufacture inquiries. You can't do something repeatable because you're relying on other people's inputs, and you can't force someone to talk on your behalf who's a customer good things about you. You can put a gun to their head, but I don't think we should do that. So we'll leave it at that. The key thing here is, the key thing that I recognized was that I wanted a reliable and predictable way to be able to get more inquiries. And that's exactly what paid ads does. And the way I think about it is, imagine you pay $50 per inquiry. It might feel like a lot for some people, it might feel really cheap for other people. Let's say that as a consequence of advertising, you get 5 more families signing up every single month. And let's say each of those families pay you $160 per month. Now, that would be 60 families per year, and that would be an extra $173,000 per year. Even if you only run at 25% net margins, which I think is a pretty reasonable amount to be running your swim school at, that's an extra $43,000 in take-home pay. All off learning how to advertise. Now, the reason that my swim schools went from $600,000 a year to nearly $3 million a year is because we understand how to get people to inquire. We would not be where we are if we didn't understand how to do that. There are always people who are moving into the area, and there are people who aren't in social spheres and social circles that mean that they are going to hear about your swimming lessons. At the end of the day, I can guarantee that people will not inquire about swimming lessons if they don't know that you exist. And if there aren't active conversations being forced down their throat from people who have been wowed by your services, then you need to figure out a way to become known and to be seen by them. If you like this information and you want more tactical help on how to possibly implement ads and many of the other systems that we've used to build our swim school from $600,000 a year up to nearly $3 million a year, then there's actually some paid options within the school group. You can click through there, have a look at those options. You can send me a DM, ask me a couple of questions, and we might be able to help you out. If not, I hope the free content that we're putting out helps point you in the right direction. You can start making the steps that will allow you to get to where you want to get to, have less stress in your life, make a bit more money, and spend more time with your family.